Welcome to Agape Freedom Sports. We are live here at the Riverview Winery in German, Pennsylvania, 410 Washington Avenue, German, PA, 18433. It's a pretty nice place here at this winery, Doug. What do you say?
Yeah, it is. It's been here for quite a couple of years now. Big building. They even have seating outside and down by the river. I think that was a song, wasn't it? Down by the river.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sure there's many songs.
But
like
there's people down there. And we asked Mr. Paul Corba, if we could do a podcast here, discussing week 2 games, and he agreed to it. So we thank him very, very immensely. Letting us do that. But like I said, Jeric, throughout the season, we'd be willing to do this anywhere, right?
Oh, yeah. Anywhere in Lackawanna County, Wayne County, even up in Wyoming County. Reach out to us. My phone number is 570-677-0353. I prefer a text message, but you could also call me. So it's 570-677-0353. You could even email me if you like doing emails. Jeric85@gmail.com. JERIC 85@gmail.com. And it's a very nice place here. And again, we're Agape Freedom Sports. Doug, anything you've seen on the menu?
Yeah, he's got, a pretty nice selection of wines here. From your red wines and white wines, different flavors, blueberry, mango, caramel apple, peach, pineapple, strawberry, watermelon, Rivers Inn, Malbec, Niagara. Pretty. A lot of those look pretty good.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. It definitely is very good. And they do different events there.
Yeah. I was at a wedding here a couple of years back. They had that seating area.
Yeah.
And there was a band playing here too. So it was a pretty good time. I don't remember it too well, so it must have been a pretty good time.
Yeah, they have different bands to play here. They had Bliss. It was a older local band. They played here a few times.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them that have played here, and it's a very nice place. If you want to go on a date, or if you want to just you're married, or you have a girlfriend or boyfriend, this is definitely a good place to come and relax. You could drink outside.
Right by the river.
Right by the river.
Yep.
A lot of tables there, especially, as long as it's not winter time. I don't think you want to be outside in winter.
No, definitely not.
But it's a relaxing environment.
But yeah, we'll go back to the menu in this fine establishment. But how about week 2? Where did 2 weeks go already?
Wow, I know it's went by fast, but week 2 was a dandy. I was at the Mid-Valley and Berwick game. Doug was at the Old Forge and Dunmore game. Boy, he's been getting home late the last 2 Fridays, like around 10 o'clock by the time his games were over. And then we both were at the Holy Cross and Lakeland game, and that was a pretty good game itself. So, but let's get this started, Doug. Do you want to cover the first 2 games first? Old Forge, Dunmore, Holy Cross, Lakeland.
I think I might need an oxygen tank here after I cover this Old Forge game. The ref and the side judge and the chain gang were busting me. They're like, yeah, good luck talking about this game, because I'll tell you what, Jeric, it was a dandy. 46-43 overtime win for the Old Forge Blue Devils in overtime at Dunmore Veterans Memorial Field. Scoring was fast and furious, I'll tell you what. Right from the opening kickoff, Old Forge Cale Krasnowski took the opening kickoff 90 yards, just like that. 15, 20 seconds into the game, Old Forge is up 7-0. Dunmore, though, they could come right back. They respond with the Jack Neff touchdown pass to Isaiah Parker, 67 yards. Isaiah got, past his defender, wide open, took it to the house, 67 yards, 7-7. We're still in the first quarter, a couple minutes in. Old Forge puts together a lengthy drive. They get a Isaiah Rodriguez field goal, 10-7. Old Forge on top. Now on to the second quarter. Jack McNeff from Dunmore scores on a 7-yard TD run, take a 14-10 lead. 10:44 left in the second. Dunmore defense, they get 2 sacks on Old Forge quarterback TJ DiMattei. Old Forge punting from their own end zone. Dunmore gets a good field position as a result of it. And Xavier Burke scampers 27 yards, 21-10, Dunmore, 8:47 left in the second quarter. The Xavier Burke, I tell you what, Jeric, he's only a sophomore.
Oh, wow.
He's going to be another one of them Dunmore great running backs.
Wow.
Yeah. So Old Forge answers on a fake field goal. And I was down that end of the field. I don't know if it was a planned call or I thought it was a bad snap. The holder had trouble handling the snap. Anyways, nonetheless, Chris Rasmus, who was the holder, finds Nick Hewitt in the end zone for a 20-yard touchdown. Extra points, no good. 21-16 Dunmore. 4 minutes and 30 seconds left before halftime. Dunmore responds with a nice running by Burke and Franek, setting up a Burke touchdown catch from 8 yards out. 28-16 Dunmore. 48 seconds left in the half. Old Forge gets a good kickoff return by Frankie Perro and sets up an amazing touchdown run by TJ DiMattei from 27 yards out as the halftime expires. And, you know, I interviewed TJ and, you know, he said the packet collapsed and, you know, he just made stuff happen. He got some good downfield blocks, got to the pylon. Your halftime score in Bucktown, 28-22 Dunmore. Third quarter, TJ DiMattei to Ryan Novak for 66 yards. And they take a 29-28 lead with 5:58 left in the third. Burke scores again from 1 yard out, 2-point good, 36-29. Dunmore, 2:27 left in the third. Old Forge, though, Kel Kaznowski returns a squib kick, 82 yards for his second kickoff return for a touchdown. Extra point good. We are all tied up at 36, 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in the third. Jack Neff hits Jacob Costanzo for 31 yards and a 43-36 lead. Old Forge comes back with an 11-play, 76-yard drive. DiMattei to Chris Rasmus on fourth and 8, I believe it was. Tie the game at 43 with 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Dunmore gets the ball. They drive down the field. They're deep in Old Forge territory, but they fumbled the football with 25 seconds left. You know, Dunmore was playing to win the game there at the end of regulation. You know, the kid, I believe it was Burke, fighting for extra yards, just lost the handle of the ball. So we were on to overtime. Dunmore's ball first. Dunmore was going to kick a field goal. A penalty moved them from the 8 to the 13-yard line. The field goal was no good. Old Forge ball, pretty much Isaiah Rodriguez, field goal good. Old Forge wins 46-43. And just a couple stats. When I was interviewing Coach Mike Schuback, you know, he saying that Rodriguez, that was his fourth winning kick.
Wow.
2 in 2 weeks.
Wow.
You know,
That's
and
amazing. Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. You don't see that happening in high school football in the Lackawanna Conference too often.
yeah,
It's important to have a good kicker because you never know when you're going to need them.
yeah. A couple stats. TJ DiMattei, 218 yards passing, 33 yards rushing. 27 of them came on that outstanding run right before the half that got him in the end zone. He had 2 passing TDs and, like I said, the 1 rushing TD. Chris Rasmus, 6 catches, 105 yards, 1 touchdown, and he also threw that one on the field goal. And Kel Krasnowski,
Wow.
2 kickoff returns for touchdowns.
You don't see that happening in high
No,
school football
and-
too often.
No, and you know, I seen something online. This TJ DiMattei,
Yeah.
that kid is cool under pressure. He's just as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Mm-hmm.
And football isn't even his game. Baseball is.
Wow. Yeah, I have noticed that.
Yeah, I believe he's going to the University of Scranton to
Wow.
play baseball. So I like to see what he's
Yeah,
got to be a great.
They got a good one. They got a good baseball player.
Yeah.
He is good baseball player.
But Old Forge, they showed a lot of heart. You know, both teams showed a lot of heart. It was like a heavyweight battle, back and forth, exchanging punches. You know, for Dunmore, Jack McNeff, 3 passing TDs, 1 rushing, so 4 TDs on the game for him. Xavier Burke, 12 carries, 174 yards. And like I said, watch out for him. He's only a sophomore. He's going to be one of the next Dunmore great running back.
Amazing.
And Gabe Franek, 14 carries for 100 yards.
Wow.
And like I said in previous podcasts, that Dunmore offensive line really gets going, and I think Dunmore can be a very scary team.
After you watch them play, when I watch them, hear about them play the past 2 weeks, Doug, I think they're going to surprise us. I think they're going to be back to being a good team, which we didn't think they were going to. They played Old Forge tough. They kind of played Riverside tough.
Yeah.
So we're just going to throw that out there. Watch for Dunmore.
Yeah, that McNeff, though, good quarterback, too. He a lot of passes, 3 touchdown passes. So Dunmore gets a good mix going with their run game and passing game. Look out.
I'm going to do my game next, but I just want to share this. I mean, I heard what you said, but I'm being distracted by some of these beers on this menu. They have SBC Bomb Pop,
Where do you see that?
SBC, right here,
Okay.
Suck on This Blueberry. They have Yingling Flight, Yingling Lager. Wow.
A couple Lions Head.
Twisted Tea. Twisted Tea. I like Twisted Tea.
Yeah, a bunch of SBCs. I don't know what they are. What is that? Must be an IPA. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very good menu. Definitely come here and check it out.
Yeah, and but that being said, don't drink and drive.
Yeah.
Call
Have a
an
designated
Uber.
driver. Call an
Designated
Uber.
driver, right?
Yeah, when you come here.
But again, we're at the Riverview Winery, 410 Washington Avenue.
And be
in
over
Germany.
21. And be over 21.
I hope so. I think they're probably responsible carding people, but yeah.
But yeah, Doug, while you were there, I was at the Mid-Valley and Berwick game. What a game that was. It was a very physical game, as we expected. Mid-Valley in the first half moved the ball down the field the most. Their defense was solid. Mid-Valley's defensive line was a key force in the first half. Berwick struggled to move the ball downfield. In fact, they didn't get too many first downs. Berwick went for it on 2 fourth downs, and Mid-Valley closed the closet on them, stopped them. This Mid-Valley team is for real, Doug. Most definitely a key contender for the Class 3A district title, Doug. Yeah. But Berwick scored first, Doug, on an interception return by a very fast Timur Wilkerson. He broke Berwick's, what we learned about Timur, he broke the 100-meter dash record for Berwick school this past spring. He ran 11.09, so he was pretty fast. And the ball happened to go and land in his hands, one of the fastest players on Berwick's football team this year, and he took it to the house. Typical. The score was 7-0 Berwick at that point in the first quarter. The first quarter was all defense, neck to neck, hit for hit. Both teams played hard. When second quarter began and closed, Mid-Valley managed to get 2 touchdowns on the board, 14-7 Mid-Valley on top. In the first half, after Brett Yanoski threw that interception, Doug, it seemed like Mid-Valley's coach, Stan Yanoski, decided to pass way less. He just kept the ball and put it in his running back's hands, which is Jacob Lester. Why not? A very good running back. It was a good idea when you have a very skilled and fast, big, talented running back like Jacob Lester. Good call. Opening the second half, Mid-Valley took the ball to the 40-yard line on a kickoff return. On that series, Mid-Valley was flagged for a personal foul, so they were pushed back, Doug. Then the ball was hiked and went over the Brett Yanoski's head. Luckily, he fell on the ball, Brett. It could have been a big disaster and favored it for Berwick if they jumped on that ball, but they didn't. Next drive, that drive ended with a Mid-Valley punt. Next drive for Berwick, ball on the 38-yard line, 9:58 left in the third. Berwick threw an interception to number 89, Jake Bondi, big dude. Mid-Valley scored on that next drive to make it 21-7. Berwick on their next series on downs, in it with another punt. Berwick struggled, Doug, at the goal line to get first downs on that defense. Mid-Valley is for real. Big and physical. Yeah, Berwick only got 3 first downs, Doug, in the whole game.
Wow.
Last week, which I'm going to mention here. In the second half, it was all Jacob Lester. With 8:35 left in the game, Lester put his final licking on the Bulldogs of Berwick by going for 28 yards into the end zone. He is hard to tackle. Just when Berwick thought he had him stopped and no holes in the offensive line, he would run to the other side and find a way to run the ball downfield. He is very skilled at running and using his stiff arm. A few times, Doug, I've seen him sprinting and putting his arm out. He does it with perfection. He doesn't stop moving his feet. He just keeps moving and pounding forward. How about this stat, Doug? Ready for this? Jacob Lester, 28 carries for 260 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Wow.
Jacob Lester was running all around the field against a skilled Berwick team Friday, a team that was once 4A. So, Mid-Valley used to be, 2A?
Yeah, 2A.
So even though they moved up in classification, Berwick was competing against very good teams in 4A the last few years. So this was big for Mid-Valley, who never played Berwick before, my understanding. So what does it come to, Doug? 9.2 yards per carry for Jacob Lester.
Wow.
Yeah.
The kid is good, right?
Yeah, it is. So the Mid-Valley a few times was at 1st and 15, 1st and 20, 2nd and 20. Gave him the ball. He picked up more than half of that. So now ready for this? He now has 418 yards on the season, Jacob Lester.
2 games.
2 games. If he stays on this pace, he can very well reach the 2,000-yard mark, especially heading in playoffs. If he stays healthy, the key is he has to be healthy.
Yeah.
I think the way Jacob Lester goes, his health depends on how good Mid-Valley is going to be. Because if he gets hurt, I don't think Mid-Valley is going to be as competitive and as good. He's their key. So hopefully he stays healthy. Now, Berwick only had 3 first downs in this game. Last week, Piston area only had 3 first downs as well. Mid-Valley has not given up an offensive touchdown yet this season. Both games this season so far, Mid-Valley defense has not given up more than 100 yards. Both Berwick and Piston area had less than 100 total yards against that big, strong, physical Mid-Valley defense.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I said last week when we were at the Caverna, watch out for Sparty. Sparty's for real.
Oh, yeah.
And that Jacob Lester, one thing about him, when we talked on the phone Friday night after the games and that, and you told me his yards and that, I remember our season preview. He's a big kid. He's like 6'2".
Yeah, he is.
Big kid. And Mid-Valley, they hit the weight room hard. They hit the weights. They knew they were going to be playing these bigger schools. So they took the weightlifting serious, and I'll tell you what, it's showing. It
does, and I'm going to predict, as long as Jacob Lester stays healthy and doesn't really get injured this year, I think no other key injuries on Mid-Valley. I think he's going to be an all-state running back at the end of the season, and I'm going to throw this out there. I'm pumped. I think the health of Jacob Lester will depend on Mid-Valley, how good Mid-Valley is going to be. They very well could win the District 2 3A district title and be competitive in the state playoffs if there's no key injuries and Jacob Lester stays healthy. I believe that. He's that good. He's that good. I'm telling you, I watched him run.
Trouble with that is they have 1 4-letter word in front of them.
What's that?
Prep.
Yeah.
And we could get to the
prep. They do have prep.
Yeah, we could get to the prep game here. What do you want to talk about them next, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, we can talk about that next.
But prep, once I find them here, they played Loyola Blakefield, and that game was down in
How about you go over?
Yeah, that was in Townsend.
How about you go over?
I got it.
How about you go over this past weekend's games? You go over this past weekend's
Yeah,
games?
sure. Again, Stratton Prep played Loyola Blakefield out of Maryland, in Townsend, Maryland. And this Loyola team had a couple Division I kids on their team. And, Prep going down there, you know what? Kudos to them. They're going out of the area instead of just running that large here and, winning their games by like 38 points or whatever it was. They won their games there by last year. They went going out of state for some games. So
challenge.
Yeah. Started off, Loyola scored first. Bradley Sace, 77 yards to Kahari Adams for a 7-0 lead. And that Kahari Adams is one wide receiver, junior. He's got a bunch of D1 offers. So remember that name. The Prep comes right back. Lewis Paris to Brady Holmes, 78 yards, tie the game at 7. Second quarter, Sace again to Adams. Adams again, 75-yard touchdown, 14-7. Paris, Prep responds. Paris to Dickey, 18-yard touchdown, 14-14. Get this one, Jeric. Loyola Blakefield. Kid hit a 54-yard field goal.
Wow, yeah, they have athletes there.
Yeah, 17-14 Loyola up at halftime. Third quarter, second half, Prep kind of takes over. Will McParkland, 83-yard touchdown run, extra point, no good, 20-14 Prep. Loyola, they missed a field goal. Prep got the ball back, went down the field. McParkland, 6-yard touchdown run, 26-17 in the fourth quarter. Loyola misses another field goal from 37 yards. Prep, they hold Prep. Their quarterback Sace again to Richard Hines for a 38-yard touchdown. Extra point, no good, 26-23. Prep gets the ball back and pretty much runs out the clock. Loyola didn't have any timeouts left. And couple stats. Will McParkland, 14 carries, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns. Lewis Paris, 14 carries, 82 yards, 3 out of 7 passing, 95 yards, and 1 TD. Brady Holmes, 1 catch for the 78 yards and a touchdown. And Trayvon Dickey, 3 carries, 19 yards, and 3 catches for 25 yards.
Wow.
And then Prep, Saturday, they have Canisius, a school out of Buffalo. They will be playing Saturday afternoon at 2:00. So we'll see what happens there. But Prep, our number 1 team, comes through.
And that's at it's a Prep Dunmore.
Dunmore, yep, yeah, at Dunmore. So
maybe I'll be there. We'll see.
Yeah, but couple big games. Valley View. We all know what Prep did to Valley View in week 1.
Oh yeah,
and it was very crucial for Valley View not to start the season 0-2.
Yep.
This was tough to say. You know what? Valley View can't start the season 0-2. And they kind of weird game because both teams played without their starting quarterbacks.
They did?
Yeah, I found that weird
I
too.
didn't know that.
Yeah, Zach Swinski for Valley View and Jaden Shedlock for Crestwood. So Casey Mulsberger was your Valley View quarterback. And, he saw some time at quarterback last year. And I tell you what, he had a good game. He had 1 touchdown pass, 2 rushing TDs, 1 from 27 yards and 1 from a yard out. Nick Kaharski, big game, 11 carries, 115 yards. And I believe he had an interception by the end zone. Valley View was up 14-0. Good defensive stand near the goal line. Took them in the half. Huge momentum. Third quarter, Valley View comes out. Marino catches a big pass from Mulsberger, 42 yards, catch and run, which sets up that Mulsberger 27-yard touchdown run. 21-0 Valley View. They added on another. Crestwood added a couple scores on. But Valley View, from what I read, lots
Yeah.
of penalties, Jeric, and
That's not good.
actually a couple unsportsmanlike penalties.
That's not good when.
No, I'm curious if they were just playing with so much intensity, after the game that they had last week, from prep, if they came out fired up and, but.
And didn't work out well.
No, but
playing.
couple stats. Preston Reed, 13 carries, 32 yards. Casey Malzberger, again, 4 carries, 32 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5 out of 9 passing, 105 yards, 1 TD. And then McLean, 2 catches for 55 yards, 1 TD. Valley View, they'll be heading down to Wilkes-Barre area to play the Wolfpack next week.
That's going to be a tough game.
Yeah, you know what? Wilkes-Barre lost this past weekend. They lost, I believe, Stroudsburg, and but we don't know how good Stroudsburg is.
Mm-hmm.
Wilkes-Barre, like I've said in previous podcasts, a lot of noise coming from down there, pretty good. So it should be pretty interesting to see what happens down in Wilkes-Barre. About another big game, Jeric, Western Wayne and Lackawanna Trail.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think? You think this game was going to be closer or what?
Western Wayne and Lackawanna Trail. I definitely thought it would be closer. That's for sure.
Yeah, Western Wayne 28-7 over Lackawanna Trail. It started off with Sean Owens, great wide receiver for the Wildcats, got a 69-yard touchdown pass from John Pyatt, 7-0 Western Wayne. Yeah. And then Sean Owens again, pick 6 for 70 yards, 14-0 at halftime. What Trail, though, they're always going to fight. Steve Jervis up there, that team is always going to compete no matter what. His son, Tyler Jervis, 1-yard TD score, cut the lead in half, 14-7, 4:45 left in the third. So, but you know what? Looks like Vinton scored a touchdown, 15-yard touchdown run, make it 21-7. And then John Pyatt with a 1-yard touchdown run, 28-7. Again, Josh Vinton, 20 carries, buck 94, 1 TD, 1 reception for 11 yards. Sean Owens, 2 receptions, 83 yards, 1 touchdown, and that pick 6. John Pyatt, 4 out of 9, 114 yards, 1 touchdown. Tell you what, Jeric, Western Wayne's defense must be for real. Was when I was going over Lackawanna Trail stats, they really didn't do much. Demetrius Douglas, 12 carries, 57 yards. Logan Edwards, 7 carries, 31 yards. Jervis, 10 carries, 34 yards. That 1 touchdown from a yard out. And then Isaac Ryan, 11 carries for 20 yards. 45 carries for 151 yards rushing, which really not too good of an average. But Western Wayne is another team to watch out for.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, in 3A, you have Mid-Valley, which you already talked about. Scranton Prep, Western Wayne, Wyoming area.
Oh, wow.
That's going to be that's going to be unreal.
It is.
Them 4 teams.
It's not fair, actually, because most of these teams are going to, look out.
But both these teams got intriguing matchups. Week 3. Trail will be hosting Berwick. I think we were talking about that on the way here, right?
Yep, you'll be there.
I'll be there?
Yep.
Okay. And then Western Wayne will be hosting Wyoming area, who is off to a 2-0 start. 2 big wins over Crestwood and Dallas. So Wyoming area could be a playoff preview game there.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. So
what else do you have, Doug? Any more?
Yeah, I pretty much got the whole LFC. I had a pretty dull morning. So how about the game? We'll talk about the game we were at yesterday.
Yes,
Lakeland Holy Cross. Lakeland, they came into this game flying high. Big time win week 1 against Carbondale. And Holy Cross was feeling pretty good. They had a big win against Montrose. And, so they were flying high. And we covered, Holy Cross. They had a lot of lettermen back, 9-10 on each side of the ball. So we thought this was going to be pretty good game.
Yeah, it still was. It was pretty good. It was physical back and forth for a while. It just Lakeland got the upper edge, and Holy Cross struggled to get in the end zone, unfortunately.
Yeah, you know what? Lakeland ball in their own territory. They fumbled. Holy Cross recovered. That set up a Connor Farrell field goal, 33 yards, 5:08 left in the first. Holy Cross is up 3-0 on Lakeland. Lakeland, though, 11-play, 60-yard drive. David Nanowitz to Chase Rosenkrantz from 12 yards out. 7-3, 11:54 left in the second. Next possession, Nanowitz again to Rosenkrantz for 61 yards. 14-3, 4:51 left in the second. Later on in the fourth quarter, Chiefs got a 11-yard touchdown run by Rocco Spataro. 21-3 Chiefs, and that's how it ended. Couple notes from that game, Jeric, you were there. Chiefs, they play good defense. They really battle. Their defense, I think they held Aiden Wadorski to 45 yards. Not really. I don't think that the passing was not much there. I'll tell you what, Lakeland, though, has to play better.
Yeah, they do.
And you know what? When we were out on the field after the game, when the Chiefs formed their huddle, Chiefs coaching staff was not happy with the way they played, and they had like a bunch of penalties. I believe 10 penalties, might have even been more. I think it wiped a touchdown or two off the board for the Chiefs. 2 turnovers. Caden Kazuzo, 10 carries, 66 yards. Rocco Spataro, 7 carries, 30 yards. That touchdown from 11 yards out. David Nanowitz, 11 out of 19, 131 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Chiefs got 2 interceptions by Gavin Roberts and Jackson Pocus. Chase Rosenkrantz, again, player of the game, 6 catches, 97 yards, and 2 TDs. But the Chiefs, they have Riverside next.
That's not going to be easy for them.
No, it's not. And they're going to have to. I could just tell by the tone of the Lakeland coaches after that game, they're in for a hard week of practice up at Lakeland.
And it's going. I think from here on out, they have a lot of harder, bigger, better teams they're going to be playing against.
Yeah.
Some of the top teams in the area throughout their schedule. You have Honesdale. They're going to play West Scranton. And West Scranton, they can play Lakeland. They're going to play Lakeland tough, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't know the rest of their schedule, but yeah, it ain't going to get easier for them.
Yeah. Then after Riverside, the Chiefs have Wyoming area.
Yeah, and that's not going to be easy game.
Lakeland, needs to get this figured out, which they will. You know what? Yeah. Lakeland's still a young team, Jared.
Yeah, they are.
Nanowitz, just a couple names off my head. Nanowitz is only a junior. Kuzo's a junior. Spataro's a freshman. Rosenkrantz is an underclassman. Sophomore.
Heck of a basketball player, Rosenkrantz is.
Yeah, but the Chiefs will get it figured out. It's going to take some time, young team, but they'll get better. But the important thing, though, they're 2-0. After being 1-9 last year, they're 2-0.
Yeah, they already improved the record from last year.
Yeah.
So, the way I like to say it, they achieved their expectation because it was better than last year.
Yeah, definitely. And they worked hard in the off season. Pretty, so we'll.
What else do you have?
Oh, I think you mentioned West, right? We're West at Abington, and I was thinking to myself, we were both at the Holy Cross Lakeland game. I'm like, well, technically one of us should have been covering West and Abington. I guess good thing we didn't. That would have been. We would have been out of there earlier. We would have missed the rain.
Yeah.
But West, how about West? Fumbled the opening kickoff. Abington, they scored. Dom Bernetti, 20-yard TD run, 7-0, just like that. 20 seconds into the game. It gets worse for West. Third play for West, interception by Shane Brower. Sets up another Bernetti touchdown from 1 yard. 14-0. There's just a little over 3 minutes into the game, just like that. Again, Nick Bradley, 8 yards. Deshaun Theodore, 21-0. That capped a 7-play, 67-yard drive. And how about this stat? Abington scored on all 5 first half of drives.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So it was pretty much a mercy rule at halftime. 42-0 was your final from the pit in Clark Summit. West will be hosting Hazleton, and Abington Heights will be playing Dallas, who's 0-2. A lot of people expected big things from Dallas, but they're 0-2. They played a tough schedule. I don't know, still time to get it turned around, but yeah, Susquehanna 42, Montrose 6. A big game from William Marcy, 17 carries, 183 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 receptions, 65 yards. He also had a kickoff return for a touchdown, 71 yards. Montrose, they only had 46 yards of offense. Weston Unoni, 11 carries, 86 yards, 4 out of 6 passing, 92 yards. And that's a big rivalry game up there. It's battle for the Bluestone Trophy. Riken Holbert, he won the Thomas E. Robinson Memorial Award up there. He's a defensive end. He had 3 sacks, 7 tackles, a forced fumble. Susquehanna will be home versus Dunmore. Montrose versus Columbia Montverde Tech. Jersey Shore 14, Delaware Valley 10. Delaware Valley was actually up in this game, 10-7. Jersey Shore came up with a 43-yard pass play for a touchdown, 14-10. DV fumbled late in the 4th quarter. Then they got the ball back again. There was a couple heaves to the end zone. Both fell incomplete at the end of the game. Again, Jersey Shore 14-10. Your winners over Delaware Valley. What else we got here? Yeah. Carbondale, 1-1, 26-0 over Nanaco. Cole Bicchetti, 26 carries, 85 yards, 1 touchdown, 6 out of 7, 103 yards, 1 touchdown.
And I said he was going to have a big game, and he did.
Yeah, you know what? And he's only a freshman.
Yes.
He's going to be good.
He is.
And he's 6'2".
Yep.
Ethan Bruin had a rushing touchdown, and Daniel Gonzalez, 2 catches, 70 yards, 1 touchdown. Carbondale will be hosting Holy Redeemer next week. Carbondale now 1-1. How about another team, Jeric, to watch out for? The Honesdale Hornets.
Yes.
43-20 over Pocono Mountain East. And Honesdale, again, big, strong running game. They have a big lineman up there, Wyatt Rutherford, D1 talent. Mason Avery, 10 carries, 210 yards, 3 touchdowns. Aiden Collins, their quarterback, 11 carries, 60 yards, 10 for 18, 97 yards, 1 passing touchdown. Bradley Bibelow, 4 carries, 35 yards, and he had 3 receptions for 18 yards and 1 touchdown. And Honesdale playing Walpolpack next week. I believe I've heard that's a game where you throw the records out the window.
Yeah.
Those 2 teams go at it. And you know, how about Walpolpack? Coach Matt Rocky got his first win.
Nice.
Kudos to him.
Good job.
Yeah, congratulations, Coach Rock.
Yes.
Big game. Drew Kizadell, their quarterback, 8 carries, 51 yards, 7 out of 12, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ed Kizendale, 10 carries, 75 yards, 1 TD. And Logan Crusoe, 13 carries, 80 yards. So looks like they got a good game there from a couple Buckhorns. Good for them. Good for Coach Nuraki, and good for the Walpolpack Buckhorns.
Yes.
Riverside all over Hanover, 62-13. Big game by Chase Tadonio, their quarterback. 2 touchdown runs of 3 and 15 yards, 1 passing TD. Carmelo Barnett, big game, 5 carries, 75 yards, 3 touchdowns. Nijay Scott Holt, 4 carries, 71 yards, 1 touchdown. Richie Kostoff, their D1 tight end, 4 carries, 22 yards, 4 catches, 87 yards, touchdown. Bradley Pavlonis, 2 catches, 125 yards. Riverside will be at Lakeland next week. So,
what was his name? That's great.
Who's that?
Brady.
Pavlonis?
Yeah, his dad was a very good wide receiver for Riverside. He was 2001.
Really?
Very good.
You got me. I don't know.
Ron Pavlonis. I think he was a taller dude. I don't know exact. Might be a 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". Not sure, but he was a very good wide receiver. And I saw a Facebook post that he waited 17 years for the moment of his son scoring a touchdown in varsity.
Really?
Yes. Well, his son's 17.
Okay.
Since his son was born, and his son's playing for Riverside. Now he's going to be, I would say, a receiver to watch this year. For 125 yards.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
Yeah, but again,
for Ron Pavlonis, I'm happy for him, and I guess to experience this moment and son and father moment.
That's cool. That's priceless. You can't put a price tag on that.
No.
But again, Jeric, where are we at?
We're live at the Riverview Winery. Again, there's a lake back there, whatever.
The river, yeah, Blackwater River.
Yeah, in the back. And yeah, is there special events they mentioned? Do you have that?
Yeah, actually, they have a couple bands here. Let me bring it up on my phone. September 21st, Halfway to Hell. That's an AC/DC tribute band.
Oh yeah, they're a very good band. I know the lead singer. Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's actually going to be coming on my other podcast, J.O.
And then on October 5th, on Poison, the concert series. I'm guessing, that's Bon Jovi and Poison.
Yeah.
Pretty much like your 80s hair bands.
Yeah.
And that, but I believe both of these bands, they played on the Mohegan Sun Party on the Patios.
Mm-hmm.
And that. So, that's pretty big, and it's Halfway to Hell. I believe they played at St. Ubaldo too, right?
Did they? Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they did the last couple of years. And then on 9/22, Small Business Sunday. And, I've seen a couple events in the past here, Jeric, on Facebook and that when they'd have a band playing like Bliss or, they had a benefit. I know the one weekend they had bands Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, I don't know these singers. I messed up the names.
Oh, okay. All right.
Or someone else.
But, and they actually have a food truck here.
Do they?
Yeah, they get a food truck that comes with a bunch of different foods. But, like I said, a whole bunch of different wines that you could choose from. Again, blueberry, mango, caramel, apple, peach, pineapple, strawberry, watermelon, bunch of beers, bunch of looks like IPAs, a bunch of Yinglings, Lion's Head, SPG, Suck on the Blueberry, Orange is the new ale, Shady Spot, Sunny Spot, a couple Paul Pack beers, Sam Adams, Scapegoats. Wow, pretty good. It's definitely a nice place. We're upstairs. We're like in, I guess I don't know what you call this. Maybe like a small banquet room.
Yep.
Maybe a conference room.
Yep.
And that.
And it's very nice. Definitely come here, check it out. You won't regret it. It's very relaxing here. Again, fall is coming up. Leaves will be changing. And I love the fall. Fall football was my favorite. Since I was fell in love with football when I was in, I believe, 3rd grade. I always loved the fall. I always loved football, the cool, crisp air, and I love pumpkin ice cream, pumpkin, creamer, pumpkin everything. So definitely check it out before the winter comes along. And that's one thing I don't like is winter. But definitely check it out. You could be by the river, having a nice sip of wine, relaxing, up to probably November. Sometimes mid-November is still nice out. So definitely check out Riverview Winery in German, Pennsylvania on Washington Avenue. So, my name is Jeric Canning.
And I'm Doug Nolby.
And check us out Wednesday at 8:15 with the Hail Mary show. Me and Doug will be back again, talking about the upcoming weekend's games and the games of the week and the big games. And then we're going to go over a new top 7 countdown. Sarah will be going over that. And then our predictions.
But I think in our top 7 countdown, I believe those teams are 6-1 the first 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, we're 6-1. Our Sky teams that won Chair last in West Wayne, which somebody had to lose. So.
Right, same with week 1 with Valley View Prep.
Everyone's going to stay in from preseason top 7, and just throw this out there. Spoiler alert: most people are going to stay in the countdown, but things will be changing up, I'm sure, with the next week or two, majorly.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm Jeric Canning.
Again, I'm Doug Nolby.
Check out the Hail Mary show Wednesday night at 8:15, and we're live at the Riverview Winery in German, Pennsylvania. Check it out. Have a good night.
Good night.